Walk into almost any corporate headquarters today, and you'll see open floor plans, cloud software, and talk of innovation. But if you look at how these organizations actually manage their people, many are operating on a completely different, much older timeline. If a leadership team relies strictly on a command and control model, giving top-down orders and monitoring output, their management philosophy hasn't updated since the industrial boom of the early 1900s. The most accurate measure of a company's maturity has nothing to do with its tech stack. It reveals itself in exactly how they view and deploy coaching. This grid represents the Fortune 500. Today, over 80% of these companies have integrated coaching into their core organizational structure to handle rapid market changes. By looking at how these top-tier corporations evolved their coaching practices over the last 30 years, we can run a clear diagnostic test on your own company and figure out exactly which decade your leadership is stuck in. Level 1 takes us back to the 1990s, the correction era. In this stage, a company brings in an executive coach for one specific reason: to deal with a manager who is failing to hit targets or causing friction in the office. The coaching is applied as a repair job. If getting assigned a coach feels like a disciplinary action or a final warning, the corporate culture is operating firmly in the 1990s. Level 2 represents the 2000s, the development era. This is when organizations realized that coaching was highly effective when applied to their absolute best people. Fortune 500s shifted their strategy, using coaching specifically to accelerate the growth of their elite, high-potential talent. If your organization reserves coaching solely to groom a select few for succession, you are looking at a system trapped between the 2000s and early 2010s. Moving from punishment to elite privilege is a definite improvement. However, both of these eras treat coaching as an isolated, external event rather than a core function of the business itself. Level 3 is the 2010s culture era. Here, coaching transitions from an outsourced service into a daily internal management style. To test for this, observe your managers. Do they dictate solutions, or do they actively use a coaching approach to guide their teams through problems? If people are starting to communicate this way, but it relies on individual managers rather than a company-wide operating system, your organization is lingering in the 2010s. Level 4 is the 2020s strategic era. Market conditions change so fast today that traditional, rigid management structures break under the pressure. Companies must be able to realign their resources at the same speed that data hits their dashboards. Look at this system map. Modern organizations rely on coaching as a systemic methodology built directly into their architecture. Leaders speak the same language. Managers coach teams daily, and external experts support leadership, creating a continuous loop of development. This shared language allows an entire workforce to pivot together in real time, rather than waiting for instructions to filter down through a hierarchy. This timeline plots an evolutionary scale from the 1990s to the 2020s. We see a practice that started as a penalty for the weak, evolved into a privilege for the strong, and finally matured into an everyday culture and a systemic strategy. Tomorrow, take a close look at how leadership develops its people. Honestly diagnose which of these 4 levels you are living in. In an environment where market conditions shift monthly, a company still waiting on command and control orders faces a structural delay that competitors with decentralized, coaching-led cultures simply don't have. This system is what allows those teams to keep pace.